Sometimes everybody needs a little help looking a little more beautiful. Well, here at ContourLase, they're known for contouring the body you've always dreamed of. So, Dr. Mozersky, I would like for you to tell us a little about your fantastic establishment here, the ContourLase Body Institute. I want to know how long you've been practicing and how you got into the practice of keeping us beautiful.
Keeping people beautiful has always been an interest of mine, and when I finished medical school and did my internship, it was a question of what should I do next, and plastic surgery was definitely one of the things I was interested in. And I started off in a plastic surgery training program in Mount Sinai Hospital in New York, but I switched during the course of that to vascular surgery, and that was my passion for over 30 years. And I went on to become board certified, do my fellowship at the University of Washington in Seattle. And I was stationed here in San Antonio as assistant chief of vascular surgery at Wilford Hall Hospital. And this was during the Vietnam War, and we would get all the referrals from all over the world, people who had vascular injuries. And so it was a tremendous experience for me. And my wife and I and our children fell in love with San Antonio, and we've been here ever since, and that was 1972. My wife stimulated my interest in vein problems and trying to find ways of making those problems better without the horrendous surgical options that we used to have, and that stimulated me to look for ways of doing things without going to the hospital.
Tell me a little about, for awake, the liposuction. You all do something called awake liposuction.
Right. Dermatologists and gynecologists really have led the way to the modern era of liposuction, and basically using a technique of anesthesia called tumescent anesthesia, which was developed by a dermatologist named Jeffrey Klein. You can do this without putting the patient to sleep, and that makes a tremendous difference, because the mortality, and it was a significant mortality associated with liposuction, and the morbidity, which is the complications associated with liposuction, are nearly eliminated when you do it awake. And for a number of reasons, because you don't have to have a general anesthetic, you don't have to have your breathing depressed, and as you know, it's safe in most cases, but there are definitely mortalities associated with general anesthesia. But the other good thing is that the patient is awake, and if you stick that cannula somewhere it shouldn't be, they can tell you, that hurts, and then you know immediately that you shouldn't go there. But if the patient is asleep, you don't know that. So people have had hernial sacs entered, and there's all sorts of bad things that can happen in the other situation.
Tell me a little about your Volumilift. I know that that's something that people are really intrigued about.
A lot of people who might want to have a facelift could benefit from having a Volumilift, which is just using Botox and fillers to replenish this volume and also work against the forces of gravity that are depressing the facial muscles. And the results are really impressive. And these are very subtle changes that are affected, but when you combine them and patients walk out of here, they say, wow, and their friends say, wow. Yeah. What have you done? Not much,
Now, I do want to touch on Zerona. Tell me a little about that.
It's a low-level laser light. I mean, maybe 1,000th of the energy that we use in medical lasers. You don't even feel heat. It's this revolving red light. It looks like a scene from some kind of a sci-fi movie, but you don't feel a thing. The fat is affected by these laser lights that penetrate about 1.5 centimeters through the skin. It makes the fat membrane rupture and the fat leak out of these cells and into the surrounding tissues. And then the lymphatic system picks up the free fat and takes it to the liver and the kidneys, where it's excreted from the body. So you feel nothing, and this happens. You don't have to do any special diet. They want you to do at least a half an hour of some sort of exercise, which could be walking, could be having a massage even, just to keep your lymphatic system flowing.
Well, doctor, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for keeping
it
all of us. And now again, I know you have these centers all over as far as your vein, the vein centers,
vein
correct?
clinic, yeah,
your vein clinics.
but not. This is a unique.
This is just the only one, the first one that you have, and we are located
in Stone Oak at 19141 Stone Oak Boulevard, Suite 307, and it's ContourLase Body Institute.
Okay, and we are just inside Loop 1604, correct?
No, we're outside Loop 1604.
We are about to get inside the ContourLase Body Institute with Michelle Snyder, our director.
All right, guys, let's get inside. I'll show you the tour. Over here we have our reception area where everyone checks in. And over to the right here is where we do our famous Volumilift.
Oh, where you come in and you have it done right away and you can go on?
Right. A lot of times our faces, as we start to age, they start to sag a little bit, and a lot of people will go in and do a facelift. What Dr. Mozersky does is the Volumilift. The Volumilift is a combination of Botox and filler that gives you a completely beautiful look without having to have the downtime and the expense of a surgery.
So you don't end up swollen or anything, you can actually go back to work?
Absolutely. You can go right back to work after the procedure.
Oh, fabulous. Let's keep going.
All right. Our next room we're very excited about because this is where we do the famous Zerona.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's dream come true, finally.
Exactly. We're so excited to have this medical device. As Dr. Mozersky said, this is a laser technology. And it's photochemical, so you just don't feel anything. You lay on there, front and back, for 20 minutes on each side, and our lovely patient coordinator, Melinda, will set it over you. And really, once you're done with the treatment, just like the Volumilift, you go back to work. And it's really, there's no downtime whatsoever. The lasers are actually able to slim your body down by creating pores in your fat cells that drain out. And you can lose up to 11.5 inches with this all over your body.
Wow, oh my gosh, y'all.
Yeah, it's really amazing. And we do this with individuals. They can, still work out and, obviously take care of themselves. And it's a boost. It's to get to the body that you want. And we're just really excited to have this medical device.
And that's key here, I would imagine, is to have some sort of an exercise routine,
right,
and facilitate it with a little procedure here and there, and this is so non-invasive, which is what makes it so special.
Right, Araceli, it is completely non-invasive, and our patients so far have been loving it, and they've experienced wonderful results.
Fantastic.